ready for the rough.
What's going on, guys? It is Shoot 'em Up here, and this is the second episode or second video in a series about girls. Last time I talked about how to get noticed by a girl, how to get noticed by girls in general. You can just go look at that yourself, or I'll put an annotation or something on the screen. I'll do something, put a link in the description for you guys to see it. And once I get enough videos, I'll put like a little series thing in the description. But anyways, guys, today we're going to be talking about how to talk to girls. And I kind of covered it generally in the last one, in the last video. Basically, there's two ways you're going to talk to a girl. You're either going to be talking to her over the phone via texting or talking on the phone, or you're going to be face to face with her. And I would definitely prefer, out of any girl, I would love to talk to her face to face rather than texting or talking on the phone, or even doing FaceTime with your iPhone or Skyping or something like that. Talking face to face is always much better. But anyways, if you're going to talk to somebody face to face and you're wondering of how you're going to get the conversation started, how are you going to do this? You see this girl, maybe you're sitting in a restaurant, or maybe you're older and you're at a bar and you're just like, man, that girl's really pretty, I want to go talk to her, start a conversation. So basically, what you're supposed to do, and what girls would prefer you do, and not have like a pickup line, be something like I don't even know a really cheesy pickup line, but don't say pickup line, please. That's just retarded. And what you're gonna do, it's very complicated. What you do is this: you see the girl, you walk over to her, and you say hey, and then you introduce yourself. All right. Now this is very complicated stuff. I'm not sure most of you guys can do it because it's kind of like rocket science right here. But anyways, you walk up to her and say hey, and then she'll say hey, and then you're kind of clueless because you don't know what to say right after that, right? So basically, before you go talk to her and say hey, you want to have just a few things in mind. You don't want to have like 9 million questions to ask her once you go talk to her, because what these few things that you're going to have in mind to say to her, hopefully, is going to spark some interest in both of you together, and you'll be able to have, a conversation, not just be like, hey, I don't even know, just random stuff that you're going to be saying, and she'll just be giving you like yes or no answers back or something like that. So basically, you want to have something in mind that can, I don't know, spark a conversation. Maybe you're at the beach. How are you doing? Where are you from? What are you doing here? Something like that. Oh, you're from this place? Oh, that's really cool. I've been there before. Just have a little conversation in mind. Next thing, compliments. I've said that before. When you're talking to a girl, don't be, boring. Don't not compliment her. Don't only talk about yourself. Every now and then, throw in a compliment about her. Don't be creepy about it, and like, just don't be creepy. It's kind of like vague, but just don't do it. So basically, seeing a girl in person, you just want to talk to her. Have a random conversation. It doesn't have to be about anything in particular. Like, man, I don't know what to talk about. Just talk about anything, literally anything. If you guys can have a conversation about it, then that's good. You can talk about it. So that's basically it. Now, there's another thing with like social media and like texting and stuff. How am I gonna talk to this girl? She's on Facebook, she's on Twitter, and I think she's pretty cute, and I want to talk to her. So basically, before you, in my opinion, before you should ever go from, oh, somebody messing with the intercom. But anyways, before you go from Facebooking or tweeting, before you do that to go to texting, you kind of need to set up a small relationship with them before, or otherwise, say you're talking to somebody on Twitter and they're like, and you're like, can you text me at this number, and then they text you and you just say hey, and it's kind of harder to spark a conversation that way because you don't really have a background with that person. So, talk to them a little bit on Facebook, talk to them for a few days on and off, talk to them on Twitter every now and then, just kind of get familiar with them before you go on into, direct messaging them and ask them for their number and stuff like that. Because if you do set up a relationship with them before, you're probably like 90% more likely to get their number whenever you ask, if you actually set up a relationship before you actually ask them for the number and be like, hey, you're cute, stuff like that. So basically, you need to do that. Now, once you actually get to texting them, one thing that is a problem for me is whenever you say hey and then what are you doing. In my opinion, whenever I'm texting a girl, if it's okay to say it sometimes, but if every single time I text her or she texts me, the second thing that she says after hey is what are you doing, I don't like that, because it's just so monotonous and it just happens every time. Because I could just be like, instead of saying hey and then waiting for her to say hey and what are you doing, I can just say hey, I'm doing this, because I know it's going to happen, and I just don't like that. I like for conversations, and I'm sure other girls like for conversations to be more different than the last conversation that they had with you previously. So try to keep what are you doing to a minimum. Have something. That's why it's important to set up a background with this person, so you can actually have something to talk about, rather than just say hey, what are you doing? Oh, that's cool. And then they'll say what are you doing, and then you just say what you're doing, which is just totally pointless, because honestly, does it really matter what the other person is doing? In my opinion, no, I don't think so. So anyways, another thing that the girls like, that you can kind of keep them come back, girls think it's cute, is giving them good night and good morning texts, or good night, good morning phone calls, good night, good morning messages, just telling them good night and good morning, because I don't know why, but girls like it, and it just seems to work out really well. So anyways, guys, that's it for this video. The gameplay is gone, and that's basically how you want to talk to a girl. I might, if you guys have any questions, leave a comment, send me a direct message or PM or whatever, and I'll reply to that. And yeah, I'll see you guys later.